Hi, I'm Sarah Abdelmawgoud.
And I'm John Minns.
And we are from Cut the Crap Refugee Reality Check, an initiative of the Refugee Action Campaign.
Sarah, how well can you swim?
Not much at all, I'm afraid, John. Why?
Then you could be in a lot of trouble, according to some politicians here in Australia and elsewhere, because for a long time they've been sounding the alarm about us being flooded. But you might be okay. It's not water they're worried about, it's refugees.
Refugees? Okay. Former PM of Australia, Tony Abbott, talked about a flood of refugees. And later Liberal leader Peter Dutton was also alarmed that a refugee flood was lapping around our chins.
In Europe and the United States, attacking refugees has become a major part of the growth of far right-wing politics, like Trump in the United States, but also people like Nigel Farage and the Reform Party in the UK, the Alternative for Germany, Viktor Orban in Hungary and so on. And they've made political capital by attacking refugees in particular.
Unbelievable, John. Refugees have been a major issue in a number of Australian elections. Why is it such a big deal?
Well, maybe we should look at some facts.
Okay.
How many refugees are we actually taking?
Since 2022, Australia has a quota of about 20,000 refugees per year. Our population is getting up to 28.5 million. That's one refugee for every 1,425 people.
Let's see what that looks like in our real lives. A football grand final in Melbourne is about 100,000 people. So if recently arrived refugees turn up to the football at the same rate as everyone else in the country, that is about an extra 70 extra people in the grounds. One person, one recently arrived refugee for every 1,700 people in the grounds.
Oh my God, okay. In recent times, about 700,000 properties are bought and sold each year in Australia. Even if every currently arrived refugee adult and child bought a house, which of course they don't, you would have to go to nearly 500 sales before you would see one of these people buy one. So why the hysteria, John?
In part, Sarah, I think it's because refugees can be the most visible part of immigration in general, especially if they don't arrive at an airport with a visa and a pile of luggage. And the right wing has been campaigning not just about refugees, but about immigration in general.
Yeah. We are going to do a whole issue on immigration later, but for now, the research says that the opposition of it is part of people feeling insecure about their position in the modern world, economically and culturally. Opportunist politicians can take advantage of that by blaming immigrants and refugees in particular.
It's just wrong economically. Migration levels used to be much higher when people were better off economically, were more able to afford houses, for example, when real wages were rising faster. The so-called good old days were actually times of high migration in Australia, in Europe and in the United States.
This is very interesting, by the way. But it's not just an economic argument, I believe so. A lot of the opposition has been based overtly or just slightly discussed on the fact that many of the immigrants and most of the refugees are from non-Europe cultures.
And it's very obvious. Take a look at this graphic from Advance, the right-wing anti-immigration lobby group in Australia. This graphic heads up the page opposing immigration in Australia on the grounds, they say, that migrants are competing for housing and pushing prices up. Do you see any blondes in that photo? Or check out Nigel Farage's campaign advertising. It's just scapegoating, pure and simple. It's racism.
Yeah, it's racism, of course. Most of them don't even bother to say, I'm not a racist, but Orban refuses to admit a single Muslim in Hungary. The right wing throughout Europe opened a call for a racially discriminatory policy. Right-wing conspiracy theories such as the Great Replacement, the idea that non-white people are attempting to replace whites in their own countries, are now common in the Republican Party in the US and from government leaders like Meloni in Italy and major opposition leaders throughout Europe.
And unfortunately, Sarah, centre parties have been drawn into the same thing. In Australia, the Labor Party continued the policy of the Conservatives on refugees, locking them up, sending them to Nauru, and keeping thousands of others in limbo. Now it's removing even more of their legal rights.
Unbelievable. It's not just the far right. In the UK, Labour PM Starmer has introduced harsh anti-refugee policies. He made a speech in May 2025 saying that recent immigration levels means risking become an island of stranger, not a nation that walks forward together.
So we're a refugee reality check, and we're fighting back against all of this racist crap in Australia and with our friends overseas.
Subscribe, donate, and most important, join us in our campaign. Check out the links below.
It's bye from me.
Goodbye from me.